السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى سنقرئك فلا تنسى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى فذكر إن نفعت الذكرى سيذكر من يخشى ويتجنبها الأشقى الذي يصلى النار الكبرى ثم لا يموت فيها ولا يحيا قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى بل تؤثرون الحياة الدنيا والآخرة خير وأبقى إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى صحف إبراهيم وموسى. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. هل أتاك حديث الغاشية وجوه يومئذ خاشعة عاملة ناصبة تصلى نارا حامية تسقى من عين آنية ليس لهم طعام إلا من ضريع لا يسمن ولا يغني من جوع وجوه يومئذ ناعمة لسعيها راضية في جنة عالية لا تسمع فيها لاغية فيها عين جارية فيها سرر مرفوعة وأكواب موضوعة ونمارق مصفوفة وزرابي مبثوثة أفلا ينظرون إلى الإبل كيف خلقت وإلى السماء كيف رفعت وإلى الجبال كيف نصبت وإلى الأرض كيف سطحت فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر إلا من تولى وكفر فيعذبه الله العذاب الأكبر إن إلينا إيابهم ثم إن علينا حسابهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة صدق الله العظيم.
جزاك الله خيرا أستاذ إبراهيم، بارك الله فيك، جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، الحمد لله رب العالمين، اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Respected brothers and sisters, I would like to welcome you all to this very short presentation regarding Guidance College. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you good health and halal wealth and protect you all from all evil. Allahumma ameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us all in those last 10 days and 10 nights of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us forgiveness and freedom from the hellfire. Allahumma ameen. Thank you so much for your time and for your willingness to show your support to Guidance College. As I said, this presentation will not be that long. We'll be just introducing this institute to the Muslim community at large. And then after that, we'll open the floor, to support this institution financially, inshallah, from zakat al-mal, from the sadaqah. And let me start with some testimonial from some of our students. Let me start with Brother Salman Ghani, who is a graduate student in the Islamic, in the Masters in Islamic Finance. MashaAllah, he has been joining Guidance College for a while, and he's almost a graduate. He does have experience. I hope that his experience is good, inshallah. So, Brother Salman.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Man. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to everyone. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ba'd. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to be able to speak on behalf of my own institute. There's no doubt, there's no better way for me to be able to repay for the favors that have been conferred upon me from this institution than to speak about my own experiences with the education that I received, with the communication that I've had with the teachers and the staff, as well as my overall learning advancement that I've accrued from this. So I would like to say that even though I'm going to speak for a short while, I'm just going to highlight a couple of things, because I've had the distinct pleasure and misfortune at the same time of being associated with many Islamic institutions of higher learning, and in all those cases it was through online mediums. It's a pleasure because I've had the experience of being exposed to many different teachers, many different teaching styles, and a lot of different nuggets of information that I could not have acquired from one source. Having said that, the misfortune part is that I found that many of these Islamic institutions and online learning platforms, I found them to be lacking in many aspects. And in that regard, I don't say this out of any false pretenses. I say this out of complete honesty, especially in the month of Ramadan, that I found Guidance College's delivery method as well as the overall experience to be far superior. And I'm going to highlight primarily only 3 ways instead of delving into many different points. The first and foremost will be accessibility. This is something that I found to be the highest and the best feature of Guidance College, that I have my teacher, my program director, the president of the university's number on speed dial. I don't think I can claim that for any other institute, in that I can call Dr. Man and I can text him or I can message him and I can get a response sometimes in 4 hours. I don't think I can do that for any other president, for any institution, for any university or any college. So that is one of the advantages that I have. And that's not limited to him. Many of my teachers are on the call. Dr. Yosof Wanly is here. Others that are about to join have not joined yet. I had first one-on-one conversations with all of them over the phone, over text, via email. I was never found lacking, or I never found them lacking in response in any case. Despite the fact that they had clear described office hours, I was able to have access to them easily. I could text them, I could call them, I could email them, and I always got a response back. So accessibility to my instructors was a highly beneficial aspect to my education and learning at Guidance College, because if I'm able to interact with my instructors regularly, I'm able to get my doubts cleared. I'm able to get my education on track if there's something derailing it. I'm able to bring forth any problems immediately to the notice of the instructor. And this is something which, unfortunately, many online learning platforms lack. The reason is because you never get to meet face-to-face your instructor. So the second best option is that you get to talk to them via a live stream where they're instructing you, and that you're able to communicate with them via text, messages, phone call. I had that pleasure and I had that benefit at Guidance College, which I did not find at other institutions. So accessibility to my teachers was a highly beneficial aspect. And that also goes to the staff, by the way, of Guidance College. I have no problems interacting, and I had never had any issues interacting with the staff. Whenever I had any logistical needs, any financial concerns, anything that I need to bring to their attention, I was able to do so easily and without any hindrance. And it worked both ways as well. They were able to bring it to my attention very easily as well. So accessibility was the best feature that I found at Guidance College. The second, which is perhaps at the same level of importance and equal, would be the overall educational experience. The overall educational experience that I had with Guidance College was very good. And the reason is because the subject that I'm learning, I'm a master's student in Islamic finance. Islamic finance is a highly challenging, very engaging, and sometimes confusing topic to learn. And yet I found the depth of education that I received sufficient. I found the material that was taught always current and up to date. It was never lacking. It was never, dare I say, backwards. It was never archaic. The presentation, the information, the points that were raised for each subject, each topic were current and up to date. And the most important aspect of the educational experience was that it was manageable. I'm married, I have a son, I also work full-time in the IT industry, and yet I was able to manage my time in that the amount of work that was given to me outside of class was manageable. It was not too much, and it was not something that I found boring. It challenged my thinking, it caused me to reflect on what I learned, yet at the same time, it not caused me hindrance, that it caused me anxiety to have to disregard family or work in order to fulfill my educational obligations, like homework or assignments. So I found educational experience in Islamic guidance to be very manageable. Lastly, which is something that a finance major would highlight for you for sure, perhaps nobody else, is return on investment. I found Guidance College's Islamic finance program to be extremely budget conscious. It was very affordable. I found it to be highly. It had the best bang for the buck. How about that? So it was very affordable. The quality of education that I had for the amount that of financial investment that I had to make was very, very agreeable for someone like me, for someone in my position. And I hope that the people who are listening to this will realize that it is something that they will agree with me immediately as well. That the Guidance College's education is very affordable, and for the quality of education that you get, I don't think it can be matched easily. Dr. Mann, I think I have taken more than the time that was allotted to me, but I hope that I have been able to repay my institution for what I've been given. Wa jazakallah khair to everyone for arranging this, and I hope that if I'm able to contribute future, I would like to do so.
نعم أخي جزاك الله خيرا. Thank you so much for your time, for the effort, for supporting your institute. You took maybe 2 or 3 minutes more, but that is fine. Brother Salman Ghani, actually, as he said, he's a student in the Islamic finance program, masters in Islamic finance and economics. We do believe that this is a very promising and very growing industry in the US, and that's why actually we paid a lot of attention to this program, trying to be up to date and to produce, for the US finance system, highly qualified professionals who hold master's degree in this field, who will be able like to inject more Islamic principles, bringing like more, I would say, more justice and more ethics to the U.S. finance system at large. Let me take another testimonial with one of our sisters. Her name is Barira Aziz. Barira actually is a senior student in the bachelor degree in Islamic studies. MashaAllah, she has been, for a while with Guidance College. She's about to graduate, and she got actually a teaching position in one of the local Islamic schools in New York, I think, only because she's a student at Guidance College. So with no further ado, let me introduce Barira. For maybe a few minutes, she can talk to us, inshallah. Barira.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. Ramadan Mubarak to you all. My name is Barira, as Dr. Man introduced me, and I'm a student in bachelor's degree at Guidance College. First of all, I would like to thank Guidance College for allowing me to speak at this event. There are many things that I have learned in the journey during my studies at Guidance College. However, due to their short time, I would like to compare in brief how I was in the past and how Guidance College has performed me as a better person. Alhamdulillah, I've been teaching the Quran since 2009. However, due to my shy and reserved nature, I didn't have confidence of teaching first. Even though what I was teaching was right, but due to the lack of confidence, I wasn't able to convey my message the way I should be doing it. So, for example, when I used to teach, if an outsider came in my class, my voice would literally just stop and I won't speak anything. Then, after enrolling myself in Guidance College to obtain a bachelor's degree in Islamic studies, and in future, inshallah, I will be doing master's in Islamic education. As a result of enrolling into Guidance College, I have become more confident and a critical thinker. Also, since my confidence got raised, I feel better of what I teach and getting better in communication with students and their parents. The confidence can be seen as I'm speaking to the public right now. It is much more higher than what it was back then. Alhamdulillah. So thank you, everyone, and have a great evening. Jazakallah.
Khairan, Barira, we are so glad and honored actually to have you joining Guidance College. I wish you the best, inshallah, and we look forward for your graduation as soon as possible and to join us again, inshallah, in the Masters in Islamic Education. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you. Let me give the floor to one of our instructors, Assistant Professor Dr. Yosof Wanly, one of the most handsome, actually, professors at Guidance College, and you can tell from his smile, mashallah. He's so quiet, but meanwhile very dangerous. He's a black belt in MMA, so when you communicate with him, you need to pay a lot of attention. Just make sure that you are safe enough. Dr. Yosof, تفضل.
So kind of you, Dr. Man. What a pleasure to have me here and to receive such a nice word about me. I'm truly grateful. Thank you very much. Allah bless you. So for me particularly, one thing that I can relate to the brothers and sisters that are listening nowadays and that are maybe on the fence about joining Guidance College and or supporting it. My argumentation is that essentially Islamic theology, it teaches that with time, unfortunately, sometimes important subjects and sciences start to swoon away, the knowledge of those details, the knowledge of the sciences, the etiquette of those details, the mannerisms regarding those particulars. And it continues to argue that essentially with the advent of time, among other things, people will start to assume that other things take precedence. And as a result, they will spend their energy, expenditure, their time, their wealth, gaining those particulars while forgetting about something that in Islamic theology it argues is more important, which is essentially a connection with God. Guidance College is very much a route and an agent, God willing, that is accredited and scholastic in supporting you and continuing to carry that beacon of relationship between the creation and the creator. I've been blessed to partake in this particular endeavor. I have seen the progress of the knowledge spread, and I've also seen something emphatically more important, which is the manners. That's why the prophetic tradition, it teaches that essentially there isn't a thing heavier with the Almighty. Once things swoon away and we meet Him, then our character and our manners. God bless you to you all. We look forward to being a part of your endeavor, your inclinations, and your education as you choose the routes to build your relationship with the Almighty. Peace and blessings of God be upon you, and thank you.
نعم جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا دكتور يوسف بارك الله فيك. Every semester, actually toward the end of the semester, we run a student survey. We just want to make sure that students are happy with the performance of the professors, and I'm so jealous when I see like the positive response. Even like the response is better than the response that I receive from my students. Everybody loves, Dr. Yosof Wanly. Mashallah, he prepares very well and he delivers, mashallah, very well. And he takes like personal, attention and care about every single student that he teaches. Jazakallah khairan kathir, Dr. Yosof. We are so glad, so happy, so honored, inshallah, to have you and to continue, inshallah, being with us at Guidance College.
The pleasure. Thank you very much. The pleasure.
Brothers and sisters, let me maybe some of you have heard about Guidance College, have heard about Alqudah University, which is actually the former name of Guidance College. And by the way, we are still Alqudah University. Guidance College DBA, doing business as Alqudah University. Let me just maybe in 5-7 minutes introduce this institute for you. It might come to your question, why Guidance College? I mean, do not we have enough Islamic universities or higher education institutes in the US? Do we really need to add another institute? What makes Guidance College distinct and different from other institutes? That's a very legitimate and a very valid question. And here is actually my answer. When you look at the mission of Guidance College, it is to educate a diverse student population in Islamic knowledge, to prepare graduates to think critically and ethically so that their contributions to the society are maximized. We live in the USA. This is a very secular society. People at large are so thirsty for guidance, and they want actually not Guidance College, guidance, the divine guidance actually. So they are looking for someone to guide them to the right path. And definitely what we are working on is to prepare those students of knowledge who should be heavily involved in the society to serve the community at large. We do have actually a vision that instead of bringing scholars and mashayikh from overseas, okay, in which nowadays maybe you all agree with me, it's not as easy as before. Bringing mashayikh and scholars from overseas is not as easy as before from one side, and from the other side, those recently coming mashayikh and scholars from overseas need sometimes to get accustomed to the situation and to get used to the language and speak the language and speak the mind of the community here, to get to know the rules and the regulations and the culture and the the limitations and the law of the land and on and on. It's not that easy job actually for someone who has been in the US for 1 or 2 years, even if he speaks the language, even if he holds a degree, to teach and to be as effective as the one actually who has been raised here in this society. If you look at this hadith, it's scary actually. It's really scary. It shows actually the consequence of lacking people of knowledge in a society where the Prophet ﷺ is telling us, إن الله لا يقبض العلم انتزاعا ينتزعه من صدور الناس. Allah does not take away Islamic knowledge, okay, by snatching it or just taking it away from the chest of people of knowledge. ولكن يقبض العلم بقبض العلماء. However, Islamic knowledge will be eliminated by the death of people of knowledge. حتى إذا لم يبق عالما اتخذ الناس رؤوسا جهالا فسئلوا فأفتوا بغير علم فضلوا وأضلوا. At a certain period of time, certain societies, certain communities will be going through this tough situation where there is no people of knowledge to serve the community at large. And thus the community, the Muslim community, will be just assigning people with no knowledge. And those people actually will shy away from saying, I do not know. So they will be approached by their community and they will be answering with no knowledge whatsoever. They will misguide themselves and they will misguide their community as well. We do not want to wait until we reach to that position where the whole Muslim community in the US lacking people of knowledge. We have to, quote unquote, to produce, to manufacture, to produce, call it whatever you want, scholars from within the community who speak the language, who speak the mind, who are used to the, the society and know very well the, the rules and the law of the land and the culture and the tradition of the American society at large. One of the main components, in order for guidance scholars to be fully integrated, okay, in academia in the US, if you wish, is to be fully accredited regionally. Getting a kind of affiliation or partnership, with an overseas university or universities is good, but it's not the best option for us. We can easily like get guidance college affiliated with those like most famous university or Islamic universities overseas, but we want to make sure from day one that guidance college actually is an American Islamic university. In order for us to be American Islamic university, we have to be acknowledged from within the system in the US. And that's why from day one, we started working on preparing ourselves to be accredited with one of the most prestigious accreditation bodies in the US, that is SACS, Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. We have been working with this organization for years so far. We did actually apply the first time in December 2018. We started going through the process. We received a feedback from SACS. We are working on it. And as you see here, inshallah, we're going to reapply this August 2020, inshallah. We are going full speed. We are taking this issue very, very seriously. But let me be honest with you all. Being regionally accredited in the US is not an easy job because unfortunately, so far, we are not receiving, I would say, sufficient support from the community at large. In order for you to establish yourself as a US-based accredited university, you need a lot of support. Financial support, human support, intellectual support, moral support. Alhamdulillah, we are receiving a lot of support, but it's not up to the level that makes accreditation process simple. It is very challenging, very costly, very lengthy. However, we will never ever give it up. Inshallah, we'll keep working on it until inshallah you will be hearing the good news soon that Guidance College is a fully accredited university in the USA as soon as possible, inshallah. We do have, like aside from the degrees that we offer, as you see here, we have continuing education programs for those who do not want to pursue a degree. They are not interested in holding a degree in Islamic studies or finance or education. We have Quran Ijaza program that is available throughout the whole year long. You just simply go to guidancecollege.org, you apply for the Ijaza program, you get evaluated by one of our instructors. If you pass with a minimum of 70% fluency and mastering the rules of Tajweed, you are in. You will be reading either by heart or from the Mus'haf toward the end of, toward the completion of reading the whole Quran. You will be getting a Quran Ijaza with Sanad. Sanad means uninterrupted chain of narrators that tracks you back all the way to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is like a very common tradition and practice within this field in Islamic studies, that you memorize the Quran by heart with a sanad that traces you back all the way to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which means that you have read the whole Quran by heart or from the Mus'haf in the presence of your Sheikh, and your Sheikh has done the same with his teacher or her teacher all the way back, back to the Prophet, to the source of the Quran, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we do have actually online webinars, alhamdulillah. Throughout the month of Ramadan, we have Tajweed made easy every single day from 6:30 to 7 p.m. Central Time. Okay, we deliver a Tajweed class for beginners, for non-Arabic speakers, for English speakers in particular. We have another program called Bettering Ourselves. We have chosen several professors from Guidance College who are highly specialized in certain fields. Some of them talking about financial stability. Some talk about building personality and time management. Some talk about family counseling, and on and on. This is actually a daily program. Every single day during the weekdays, we have one professor who is highly specialized in one field who serves the community at large. And this is actually a free service. We do not charge for this service. And when it comes to on-site seminars, we visit the masajid and the Islamic centers, sometimes other universities across the globe from coast to coast throughout the whole year long. And alhamdulillah, tens, if not even hundreds, of seminars and workshops and speeches have been delivered, and training for different Muslim communities across the globe in highly specialized topics like the zakah issue, like tafsir al-Quran, for example, like challenges that our youth are facing in the US interest-bearing transactions, Islamic finance, several programs delivered by several instructors from Guidance College. We aim for affordability. I'm really proud to say that with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we did not, and we do not, and we will not deny any application for admission, okay, for any student because of his or her financial situation. We are not here to to collect fund or tuition fees from the students. We are here to deliver. We are here to serve. We are here to educate. So for those who can afford the very nominal tuition fees that we charge, we definitely charge them. If they cannot afford it, that is fine. We have our own way of supporting them financially. We do have in-house financial aid and scholarship. And I want you to remember this. We did not in the past, we do not in the present, and we will never, ever, inshallah, in the future, deny the application of any student for admission only because the students cannot afford the tuition. Of course, we have a process to go through. We have to verify the financial situation and make sure that applicant actually is eligible for financial aid or for scholarship. But again, alhamdulillah, all the applicants who want to pursue genuine, sound, authentic, and relevant Islamic knowledge actually are more than welcome to join Guidance College. A variety of options for students. You don't have to limit yourself to be a degree student, okay? To be a degree student. I mean, if you are not that interested in holding a degree or master's in Islamic finance, however, you want to educate yourself more in a very, very specific field, okay? For example, interest-bearing transactions in the US, or accounting for Islamic financial institutes, okay? Or capital market, for example, or Islamic capital market in the US. You are more than welcome to join Guidance College as a non-degree student. You take 1 or 2 classes for credit, you fulfill the requirements of that particular course, you get your credit, and you're good to go. Even if you are not interested in being a non-degree, okay? You do not want to comply with the course requirements and do the weekly assignments and the midterm and the final exam and the research paper and the oral exam. You just want to have an access to that course, okay? You would like to listen to a lecture from Dr. Yosof Wanly talking about Muslim family law 2, which is the Islamic inheritance law and the last will, or the Islamic bequest, or al-wasiyya, okay? You work as an attorney, for example, and you want to get more information. You want to know what's going on, what does Islamic inheritance law, and how to set your own wasiyya, okay, from an Islamic perspective. You are more than welcome to be an audit, okay, without fulfilling the requirement of the course, and definitely you will not be getting credit because you did not fulfill the requirements of the of the work. So you see the flexibility here. Degree students are welcome. Non-degree students are welcome. Audit or listeners, okay, students are welcome as well. With the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we carefully choose our faculty members, and we make sure that they are highly qualified, that they have the experience, they have the academic credential, okay, they have the experience, they know very well what does teaching Islamic studies in the US mean. Take for example Dr. Hamid Ghazali, mashallah, well-known figure in tarbiyah and tafsir and education. You know, he has been serving the community for the last 35 years. Dr. Muhammad Nassar al-Haq, mashallah, is the same, one of the Muslim scholars in the US, well known. Dr. Muthanna al-Khaldi, I'm just choosing randomly. Dr. Muthanna al-Khaldi is a PhD in Arabic language. Sheikh Mujahid Bakhash actually is highly qualified in family therapy and mediation and arbitration. Sheikh Usama Salhiya is a teacher assistant, Al-Azhar University graduate, and he is now, mashallah, a graduate student in the Masters in Islamic Education. Dr. Khalid Qabati holds a PhD in education. Dr. Noor Mubin holds a PhD in education. Brother Naeem, Ustad Naeem, is a like Masters in Islamic Finance from Malaysia. Who else? Dr. Yosof Wanly, PhD in Islamic Studies. Dr. Farooq Shahzad. We have actually 2 or 3 sisters. I don't know what are their names and their pictures. And myself, alhamdulillah, I have been heavily involved in Islamic education since I came to the US back in 2000. Conveniently online, we used to in the past have a hybrid program. Hybrid program means on campus and online. We used to have a policy like if we have any class that has 5 students, a minimum of 5 students, local Houstonian, because actually we are headquartered here in Houston, Texas. If we do have 5 students attending one class, then we ask them to come to our campus, okay, to take on campus classes once a month. And honestly, we found the system not that flexible, not that doable. The vast majority of our students, including the local ones, actually prefer to have it purely online. And actually having an online education is not something new nowadays, whether in the US or abroad. I mean, very famous and well-known universities across the globe, actually, they just go purely online. Take, for example, Walden University, take Phoenix or University of Phoenix, and on and on. So we just recently changed our mind and said, you know what, let's just do it online like other universities, of course, without compromising the quality of our education. We take a very, very serious measures to make sure that students are benefiting, students actually are submitting a genuine work, students do not pass courses without being, really qualified and really dedicated and diligent and serious in delivering and fulfilling the requirements of courses, to pass courses. And I'm, alhamdulillah, so proud to say that it did happen with me several times, that I found out that a certain student is not ready to pass a course. I would, just, advise him or her to drop that course or to take it incomplete, go back home, study more, and come back to me. Even if you have to take this class next semester, I'll be, inshallah, more than happy to offer this course for you, but I want you to benefit. The bottom line is not to get grades. The bottom line is not to hold a degree. The bottom line actually is to benefit, is to have a very, very sound and a very, very relevant and very authentic knowledge. This is actually all, this is what Guidance College is all about. Authentic and relevant knowledge. And then if you deserve to hold a degree, you will definitely get your degree. Medium of instruction is only English. This is actually one of the features that make Guidance College distinct from other sister universities who offer Islamic studies in Arabic language and in English. We want just to stay focused, and we want to target American Muslims, English speakers, converts in particular. And alhamdulillah, I'm so glad and so proud to tell you that a good percentage of our student populations are converts. This is actually a success, and this is a blessing by itself. It means that alhamdulillah, those new converts, those new brothers and sisters to the Muslim community, they found out that Guidance College is the right resource for them, is the right institute for them to pursue their degree in Islamic, in Islamic studies. And definitely the language of this country is English. So we just teach the language that our kids and our students understand. We do not teach any Islamic studies in Arabic language, rather only in English. However, we do have ASL, Arabic as second language, 3 different levels as a part of the bachelor degree in Islamic studies. We just give basics, just to make sure that students understand the verb and the subject and the object and the dhamar and the pronoun and on and on. It's a very basic level, as they say, to unlock the secret of the Arabic language, but it's not in depth. It's not highly specialized and highly advanced studies. What are the degrees that we offer? We do not have PhD so far. We do have a bachelor degree in Islamic studies. It is broken down to 2 different components. If you join Guidance College for the first 2 years and then you change your mind, you want just to exit with a degree, you will be getting associate degree in Islamic studies, a total of 64, if I recall, credit hours. You will be having basic knowledge in different Islamic studies disciplines, whether Aqidah or Tajweed or Tafsir or Hadith or the Arabic language. You will be getting some basics. And if you decide to continue and to take another 2 years, you will be getting a bachelor degree in Islamic studies. When it comes to graduate studies, we, our signature, as they say, is only two different fields: Islamic education and Islamic finance. No more and no less. And inshallah, the plan, once we get accredited soon, we will be having a PhD in those two different fields. You may ask a question, why Islamic education, and what does it mean actually, Islamic education? Well, as you see here, we have a post-baccalaureate certificate in Islamic studies. If someone already holds a bachelor's degree in anything, and he or she wants to have a certain amount of knowledge in pure Islamic studies, like the Islamic creed, the Islamic jurisprudence, like the biography of the Prophet ﷺ, Quran sciences, okay, the tradition or the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, we do have that option. I think around 18 or 20 credit hours, pure Islamic studies on a graduate level. Give me just 1 second, please. Okay. And the other part of it actually is to take the very traditional teacher certification that other universities in the US or other schools of education offer. So we put those two different components together: Islamic studies 20 credit hours and teacher certification 20 credit hours. Put them together and we call them masters in Islamic education. Good news here is that we offer dual credit, which means that if someone is already certified teacher in the state of Texas, for example, okay, then for that particular student, okay, taking those 20 credit hours, okay, at Guidance College will be more than enough to give him or her masters in Islamic education. We will not be asking him to take the teacher certification again because he is already certified. And the last one is Islamic finance, masters in Islamic finance. It is broken down to two different years. If you want to have a certificate, okay, in Islamic finance to become like a professional Islamic finance practitioner, you take 1 year, okay. And if you want to move on and make it a master's, then you can take another year, and you will end up actually with masters in Islamic education. As I said, when Salman Ghani was sharing his experience with us, this is a very challenging and very promising industry in the US. When it comes to Islamic education, we want to make sure that the quality of Islamic education, that the Islamic schools in the US actually is good enough. It's really, really unfortunate to say that, you know, academic qualification, academic certification wise, for the vast majority of Islamic studies teachers and Arabic teachers and Quran teachers in Islamic schools, um, is not, you know, is not that perfect. There is a huge room for improvement to make sure that that our teachers who teach Islamic studies and Arabic and Quran in Islamic schools actually are certified enough and academically qualified enough. And that's why we focus on Islamic education and Islamic finance. Excellent student service. I'm glad that Brother Salman Ghani raised this issue. That when you send an email, your email actually will be replied to as soon as possible. When you pick up the phone and talk to our office, you will find a response. If you want to talk to your academic advisor, he or she is there. We have office hours for professors. And they just make sure that they are available during those office hours. Whenever you call, you can discuss whatever you want with your professor during his or her office hours. So this is actually one of the features that make Guidance College very distinct. Alhamdulillah, you can feel that human touch. We pay a lot of attention, to the convenience of our students. Alhamdulillah, we are a small size university, and we can easily manage having even personal relationship with our students. We consider them as a part of the family of Guidance College. Alhamdulillah. We have a very diverse, and alhamdulillah, so proud of that diverse student population. We have students belong to the Chinese community in the US. Some of them are Russian, some of them are Somali, some of them are African American and white American and Arab, and from the Indo-Pak community, from the Hispanic community. It shows again that this diverse student population found out that Guidance College is the right place for them when it comes to seeking Islamic, authentic and relevant Islamic knowledge on a higher education level. Alhamdulillah. Amount of knowledge wise, as you see here, we have from beginners all the way to experts. Okay, alhamdulillah, a good number of imams who already actually have their Islamic training, Islamic knowledge, who already lead the congregation and give the khutbah and issue fatwa, are joining Guidance College. It shows, alhamdulillah, again, that even people of knowledge found out that Guidance College actually is the right place for them. Here is the good news. Instead of staying in a small rental property, one of the local masajid here in Katy, Houston, Texas, we decided to move on and to build our own university campus. Okay, we made a kind of partnership with the Alqudah Islamic Center in Katy or in Houston, Texas. We already purchased 18 acres of land. We paid the down payment, and now, alhamdulillah, we have the master plan, as you see here, to build the masjid and to build the community center, multi-purpose hall and full-time Islamic school, as well as a campus like university campus. So inshallah, once this project is finished, we will be maybe shifting or just giving the option of teaching on campus again, inshallah. The approximate cost for this project is around $22 to $25 million. If you want to finish everything, including the investment part of it, it will be around, I would say, $22 to $25 million, inshallah. Is it true that paying for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during the hard time, okay, and financial instability is more rewardable? The answer actually is yes. Okay, and this is exactly what the Prophet ﷺ said, indicated clearly when someone asked him a question, Ya Rasulullah, ayyu sadaqati a'zam? Okay, which charity is the best, meaning the more rewardable one? He said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, anta saddaqa, I want you to count with me, anta saddaqa, to pay in charity, wa anta sahihun, while you are healthy. Number two, shahihun, okay, feeling stingy. تخشى الفقر, fearing poverty, وتأمل الغنى, and looking for long life, and looking for like being well off, looking for richness, if you wish, right? Subhanallah, as if the Prophet ﷺ is precisely describing the situation of the Muslim community in the US. Okay, through this pandemic, a lot of us lost their jobs, they get laid off, they did not get paid on time. Some business owners, they shut down their business. We live in a very like uncertain circumstance. There is a lot of uncertainty going on. We do not know for how long that pandemic will keep affecting and damaging the economy of the US. We do have some saving here or there, and we do not feel comfortable giving up that money. That's the meaning of shahih. Shahih, you feel stingy that, okay, why should I care about Islamic institutes? I mean, I should keep that money for myself and for my wife and for my kids. Prophet ﷺ is telling you, if you decide to donate in this very particular circumstances, while you are still healthy, while you are still looking for long life, while you feel that stingy that you need the money, that is the best sadaqah that you could ever make. Of course, the Guidance College is a non-for-profit organization, 501c3, and definitely it is an eligible zakah recipient. Definitely you can designate those 2.5% that you pay in the month of Ramadan to sponsor a student or to sponsor the accreditation effort and work that we are going through nowadays. What we are looking for today is that if you want to sponsor a student, an undergrad student for 4 years, from the first year all the way till the end, that is $10,000. That's $2,500 a year just to pay on his or her behalf the tuition fees. If you want to sponsor a graduate student, that is $5,000. If $10,000 is too much, you cannot afford, $5,000 is too much, you cannot afford, you want to limit yourself to only sponsoring one student for one academic year, that will be fine. It will be $2,500. If $2,500 is not that affordable, just do your best. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your financial ability. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows how much you can afford. I pray that the overall picture of Guidance College is now clear for our audience, and I will gladly give the floor to my brother Ayman Aishat, who is the director of public relation department at Guidance College, to talk to you more about the noble cause of Guidance College and to ask you, inshallah, for your generous support. Brother Ayman Aishat, Jazakallah khair. Thank you for being with us today, and the floor is yours. You are the man now. Go ahead.
Barakallah feek. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Respected brothers and sisters, mashallah, you already saw the presentation, you already saw a live testimony, and you already heard about, mashallah, a dozen of scholars and Muslim leaders and teachers and educators are part and of the family of Guidance College. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. To seek knowledge in America, the authentic knowledge, the Islamic knowledge that will multiply the reward and really clear the path of the straight path for tons of young Muslims, and inshallah more to come. It's not an easy task. As Dr. Ma'an emphasized, as such, the reward for it is huge and tremendous, inshallah ta'ala. So I would like to ask you, while you are keeping in your mind, we are in the last 10 days and 10 nights of Ramadan, the best nights of the year. Take advantage. We are in the time when Prophet Muhammad was described أجود ما يكون في رمضان. كان أجود ما يكون في رمضان كان يكون كالريح المرسلة. He used to be like the speedy wind. We need all to take advantage of this and sacrifice and contribute. I strongly believe, and we are still living the circumstances of this COVID-19 virus. Tons of ayat comes to our mind. Tons of ayat and reminders from Allah come to our mind that will let us all realize how the human beings are weak, how the nations and the groups and the people with the numbers, with the weapons, with the military, with the money, with the funds, with the all different ways of people thinking that they control this life, how all came to hold, everybody came to a stop, and we realized that the Almighty Allah has the power, and the only one who has the power. He is in control. That let us think we need to shift our attention more towards the akhirah, shift our attention more towards the investment that will benefit us for sure in this dunya and for sure in the hereafter. The bank of akhirah is the one that you need to invest in. The business that will never depreciate. Actually, it will never go flat. It is the only one that guarantees many folds, minimum of 10 times, up to 700 times. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in that particular ayah that talks about the 700 times, it's even beyond. Wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha. We need you, number one, to contribute now, and at the same time, spread the word. Take this word and this appeal and share it with your friends. After we are done with this session, you can go to online, download it and share it to your groups. Or at least take this campaign that you see the picture for the lunch good on the screen right now. What we need you to do is take it and share it with your groups, whether emails, WhatsApp group, Instagram, on Facebook, wherever it is. The most important is take leadership. Be the self-initiative that implement Hadith of Rasulullah ad-dallu ala al-khayri kafa'ilih. The one who showed goodness and lead others to contribute to goodness, get the same reward. So in this blessed month, take the multiplication of the reward and even more, 70,000 times more in Ramadan. Take advantage and contribute and sponsor a student, a graduate student, for his full degree, inshallah ta'ala, for a $10,000. If Allah blessed you with the ability and money and wealth and zakat that you can sponsor 3 students, please come forward. I know that some of you do that, and some of you did support us before for 3 students before. If you are with us, please come forward and encourage others. And we know that, mashallah, we have generous donors who had made it before. If not, at least one Kareem to come forward and say, I will do it. Ana laha. I will sponsor a graduate student for $10,000. If we have any, please, Dr. Mine or the admins in the backstage, please come forward and let me know who comes forward. MashaAllah, Muhammad Arif and family will contribute to $1,200. Takbir. Inshallah, may Allah reward you and accept from you, brother. We need to see other Kareems to come forward and say, I want to sponsor a student, undergraduate student, by the way, for the 4 years, it's a $5,000 a year. And you can do it monthly, by the way. I know some of us, especially nowadays, cannot afford the $5,000 in one-time payment. Make it $400 a month. Or even if you make it $200 a month, but you are committed, that means we can take care of one student for a whole year for the $5,000 tuition. With your commitment in mind, inshallah ta'ala. And you can do it with a $200 a month or even $100 a month. Whatever it's easy for you, because it's an ongoing project. One of us support the other, Allah will help us all. Allah says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبِلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Some of us have the wealth. Some of us have the desire to seek knowledge and become more knowledgeable and even spread that knowledge to others. Whether you are the giver or you are the taker of this knowledge, take advantage and give. Or even if you are the facilitator, by providing the means and resources to make it happen. Ya baghiya al-khayri aqbil. This is the best time and best season to give on your behalf, or family or friends. Come forward. While you are encouraging others, sacrifice and go to the max. If we have anybody with a positive response, please put it on the chat or on the screen or come forward. If not, At least give $2,500. $2,500 will take, inshallah ta'ala, mashallah, $1,000 from Naziyuddin. Takbir. This is a virtual takbir, needs virtual Allahu Akbar. See, we live in a different world now. We live in the online world. We live in the virtual, subhanallah. But alhamdulillah, different circumstances. All the time we say alhamdulillah, and all the time we feel optimistic, we feel positive, and we feel energetic, and we continue to move forward regardless. So the projects will continue. Even the land that we just recently purchased 6 months ago, Allah made it easy. 18 acres land with 0 interest. Allahu Akbar. This is a great opportunity. Inshallah, Masjid al-Huda and Al-Huda University or Guidance College will be there soon. The question is, for the smart people, are you among the contributors? Subhanallah. Towards the end of Surah Al-Baqarah, almost 5 continuous pages talks about sadaqah and the importance of sadaqah and the reward. And there is a very special category for those who give and those who are shuhada. Both of them, the reward is la khawfun alayhim wa la hum yahzanun. Here mentioned in Surah Al-Baqarah with al-mutasaddiq, the donor, the kareem, the contributor. Allah says, الذين ينفقون أموالهم بالليل والنهار سرا وعلانية. What is their reward? لهم أجرهم عند ربهم ولا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. Allah will protect them and give them immunity from sadness, anxiety, depression, worry. They will be free from all of that. Why? They are generous and givers. And subhanallah, shaitan will not leave you alone, although shaitan is chained in the month of Ramadan, but Allah mentioned it in the middle of these ayat. يعدكم الفقر الشيطان يعدكم الفقر ويأمركم بالفحشاء والله يعدكم مغفرة منه وفضلا والله واسع عليم. Shaitan promises you poverty. Shaitan wants you to live poor, to act like poor. Like Dr. Ma'an mentioned, shahiyah. Someone is very scared. Someone is holding back. Someone is worried about giving. Someone wants to save money. Shaitan comes to make your worriedness worry too much. Want you to be afraid from giving. On the other side, Allah يَعِدُكُمْ مَغْفِرَةً مِّنْهُ وَفَضْلًا. Allah want to forgive you and give you. Whom do you listen to? Listen to what Allah says in the next ayah. يُؤْتِ الْحِكْمَةَ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah gives wisdom to whomever He wants. Do you really want to be among the smart people? If you are, you want to act positively, then give fi sabilillah. Give to Guidance College. Sponsor a student. Sponsor a course. Come forward. 1 course per semester, the average cost is like $5,000. Take advantage and sponsor a course. It is the total cost, mashallah, for a teacher to teach a whole course, uploading, streaming, homeworks and all of that. It's a $5,000. Take advantage and help sponsoring a course. The student sponsorship, by the way, for the undergraduate, I made a mistake. It's not $5,000. It's a $2,500. At least come forward and sponsor a student for 1 year for $2,500, or even $100 a month for 2 years, $50 for 4 years. But the most important, you are on board and supportive. I know so many communities wanted to host us, by the way, just like every Ramadan and outside of Ramadan. But for the last 3 months now, subhanallah, we cannot do anything. They are helping us. Believe me, one doctor, may Allah reward him, he is one of the main leaders of the masjid in Nevada, said, you are in our minds. We will continue to help you and fund you and support you. If not in Ramadan, it will be beyond that. Keep him in your dua as well. Make special dua for him. May Allah protect him and his family in his wealth and in his health. Allahumma ameen. Dr. Sharif, say ameen. Among many others who continue to support us and open the floor for us. I want to conclude and say, if I don't see any notifications that mean it is going a little bit silent, I want you to come forward. $500, $100, whatever it is. Allah knows how much you can spend. And when you give, even if it is all what you have, and it's a small amount of money, that's still a barakah. That's a blessings. It will come forward and benefit you. It will come back and help you. Allah says, إِنَّا لَنُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. Indeed, We shall not waste the reward and ajr of those who do a good deed. I want to conclude and give back the floor and the mic to Dr. Ma'in and the admins. Say, may Allah reward the donors. Barakallah feekum. May Allah put the barakah in what you have given and what you have saved for your family, for you to see the results in this dunya and in the hereafter many folds. Allahumma ameen. Barakallah feekum. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. And it looks like Dr. Ma'in went to renew his wudu. Who is the admin? Who's taken over? I do think that
طيب يا إخوة, جزاكم الله خيرا كثيرا. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless whatever you paid for his cause. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless whatever you kept for yourself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all from all evil. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all long life full of obedience and devotion for his cause Azza wa Jal. And I highly recommend and just remind myself and my brothers and sisters to take full advantage of those remaining days and nights of the blessed month of Ramadan. This is wallahi a very golden opportunity. We do not know whether or not we will be having the same experience next year. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us long life full of obedience and devotion. Allahumma ameen. Thank you so much again for your time, for your effort, for showing your support, for taking this time and attending our presentation on fundraising, virtual fundraising for Guidance College. Even if you did not make it today for some reason and you change your mind later on, as you see here on the screen, you just go to launchgood.com/guidance college and make your contribution. If you are locally here and you want to talk to me about your donation, you want to make it with me directly, it's up to you. I'm available. Please contact me. Jazakumullahu khairan all. Barakallahu feekum. Barakallahu feekum. Barakallahu feekum. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.